Hello everybody, my name is George and I'm here with James and we're doing Series 7 reviews. I said that wrong, but we'll go ahead anyway. So, what
Yeah,
did you
so
think of this series?
overall, very average. As I said before, Series 6 above average, this average. So, yeah, not as bad as Series 2. Not Series 2 is below average, in my opinion. But it's one of your favourite seasons, isn't it?
Yes,
One
this
of
is one of
your
my favourite seasons.
Do you like it subjectively better than Season 4 then?
No. I'd say Series 4,
George?
Series 10. What?
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 It lagged out. It was just you stuck like this.
I was just saying, it would go Series 4, Series 10, Series 7.
Okay,
For
fair
me,
enough then.
basically.
Series 4 is actually your favourite. Fair enough.
Of course,
But yeah, do you want to talk, and rightfully so, but let's talk about the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Just a really light, easy adventure, isn't it, to be honest? Nothing special, nothing really good in there. Just a
I think
light,
it's a
easy...
very forgettable episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. It still is a good episode, but it is one of those Christmas episodes that you just watch on the day, then forget about.
Yeah, the
Isn't it?
villain was a bit... The wooden villain was a bit odd.
Yeah,
I
the
guess
King
them
and
burning
Queen.
the planet... Yeah, them burning the planet was kind of interesting, I guess. Like, them going in through the cupboard into another world, it just didn't feel like Doctor Who. But I mean, yeah, I suppose it's just another Christmas special, and it very forgettable. There ain't really a lot to say. Those people, those soldiers that show up are okay, I suppose. One of them was that comedian with really long hair who looks like a biker. Can't remember his name.
I can't. Are those the ones in the yellow jumpsuits? Or like,
Yeah, that's what I mean,
or, yeah. I kind of remember them, but I can't remember what they look like. Like, it's been so long since I watched the episode.
I think the bloke is on Mock of the Week. I can't remember though.
Maybe, but it's an episode I've never seen fit going back and watching.
That's fair. We might as well move on to the greatest episode in all of television, Darlic Asylum. There's nothing to say.
Asylum of the Daleks.
It's 10 out of 10, masterpiece. Thank you and
I love it.
Goodbye. No, obviously it's a big pile of steaming horse shit. I mean, honestly, I just was thinking to myself, what the hell am I watching? I mean, we get shoved into a Dalek parliament. It makes no sense. The Daleks are a bunch of dictators, so they wouldn't have a parliament like this. It makes no sense. And there's also really bizarre dialogue, which sounds good when you think of it straight away. But they're like, "Doctor, we need your help," and then he's like, "Okay, then."
They want the doctor. They want the doctor to go down because that's their greatest enemy. And they don't want to go down to the Darlic Asylum. So if when they blow up the asylum at the end of the episode, they can get rid of the asylum and the Doctor at the same time.
It's still a load of bollocks though, because they could have just killed the Doctor there and waited for the. They could have done, and then they could have waited for the force field to go down and just blow it up. I mean, and also Clara hacked into the mainframe.
Hang on.
Listen. But Clara hacked into the mainframe and then made all the Daleks forget who everyone is. So, like, if Clara could do that, and why didn't the if an inmate can do all of that stuff, why didn't the Daleks just do it? It just seems a bit bizarre. It doesn't make any sense.
That the Doctor has to go down and basically take down the force field from inside the asylum. So it's not like they could kill the Doctor and then just shoot down because the force field wouldn't go down. They need to take.
But the inmates would eventually turn off the force field to escape. The inmates have all the control from inside, which makes absolutely no sense. And also, why didn't they just take them out of their Dalek suits, like their metal? Why didn't they just take them out of their shell? It's just totally illogical and bizarre for the Daleks. It just makes them look like dumbasses.
Well, you do have the one that's just spinning around it again and again.
No, can I just say the thing that I was mentioning before we started this about the funny battle? Apparently, there was this one battle that was mentioned. There was Daleks on this place, and I watched the scene, and it was just one Dalek. And the Doctor goes, "Yoo, hello," and then the Dalek goes, and falls off a cliff. And then it's like that exchange with the Doctor made it go mental. That was what made it go.
When he starts spinning around and just explodes.
No. It's a different battle. It's in black and white. Basically, the Doctor just goes, hello, and then the Doctor just
Second Doctor.
I think so, and then it just falls off a cliff, and that's it. And that exchange with the Doctor was just so mental, when all it was him going.
That's going to be power or evil, isn't it?
I'll try and send you the clip, but it's so funny.
Yeah, try and send it me. I can't think of what episode it's from, because being Second Doctor, would it be evil or a power?
Mm-hmm. Also, the Daleks saying that they don't want to kill other Daleks makes no sense, because as soon as the force field goes down, they blow up and kill all those Daleks. No, but they say it's because of hatred, right? That we don't want to kill creatures that bring off such hatred. But Daleks have killed loads of other Daleks in the past, so how does any of that work?
They find hatred beautiful.
Yeah, but they've already killed other Daleks, so it makes no sense. They killed Daleks. They've shot Daleks before.
Yeah, but they're impure Daleks.
What?
Daleks that they kill other Daleks that aren't pure Daleks.
How does that work? Well, that's just ridiculous.
But
let's
just base it off the
No, but the thing is, the mental Daleks, they're like, surely they'd be able to kill them. Surely they're not right in the head, so they'd be fine.
Yeah, well, they probably could.
No, but they're even lower on the spectrum compared to those Daleks. They're far lower on the spectrum, like of Dalek hierarchy, because they're even more useless than the non-pure Daleks.
Yeah,
so
but they want to kill them. But this, I don't. I think if I remember, they're scared to go down there because they know those Daleks are very, very dangerous. Which they are, because they've gone insane.
But half of them, their turrets don't even work, and they don't know what's going on. And as I said, why didn't they just take them out of their shells? Makes no sense.
I don't know. I think when it comes to it, it's a fan service episode for people who want to see the old classic Daleks.
There wasn't many of them.
Good Dalek action.
There
was quite a bit.
They just look like normal Daleks.
Well, you had the special weapons Dalek. Quite a few Genesis ones. Saw a few Imperial, and then some some 60s classic drones. You saw quite a few of them as well.
Yeah.
I think you'll see there is more original Daleks in The Witch is Familiar, which is a 12th Doctor story, which you'll get to in Series 9.
I was going to say, though, George, there was one... I know you agree with me on this, that the Amy and Rory storyline is very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
Isn't he pissed off that she can't have a kid, but they could adopt if they wanted to? And also, in Series 6, they do have a kid, and they still raise the kid, even though it ended up being River Song. So
I don't know.
It makes zero sense.
When you're watching it at the time, the only way you want to know what happened is 5-minute shorts on the Doctor Who YouTube channel. If you didn't watch them, you wouldn't know.
And also, what they should have done is actually build up to it. So maybe at the start of Series 7, they fall out a bit. Then a few episodes later,
they didn't need to do it in the first place.
Oh, yeah, they shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying, if they wanted to, that's how they should have done it. They should have built it up instead of. What happened was, the Doctor was trying to help Clara for 10 minutes, and then you go back to Amy and Rory, and everything's resolved like that. So there was no point in the storyline anyway. It was just a waste.
Well, it's in the end, isn't it? Because Roy wants to give his a watch thing to stop the Daleks from basically making her one of those stick out puppet things. Still don't get them.
Also, I found it weird when Amy slapped Rory. That was really stupid. That's really low level for her character, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a weird thing when it comes to it.
Also, how the hell did
But
Clara? No, but how did Clara make souffles when it's all made up? Where did she get the ingredients from?
I see.
In the simulation.
Did you watch the episode? because they explain that.
What did they say? Because I haven't watched it for ages.
Because she is a Dalek.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's locked up, she's been made to basically think that she survived this crash.
Yeah.
And makes you plays. That's what the doctor says when he sees it as the Daleks. Where did you get the milk from? Where did you get the sugar and the ingredients from?
Fair enough.
Because you imagined it up, basically. Because you blocked out that memory of becoming a Dalek.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall score?
I was going to say one last thing as well. I do like how the Daleks... There is one decent thing about the episode, how the Daleks are finally scared of the Doctor, and we never see that previously. But the issue is it gets ruined by them forgetting everything. It's but they only did that so they could say, Doctor Who! Doctor! Then Matt Smith goes, Doctor Who!
Yeah.
Doctor Who! And it's like, what the hell is this? Oh, he said it! He said it! You know, it's like, for God's sake. It's like...
Do you know what's funny about that, though?
What?
They remember him the next Dark story. Look, he goes there. It goes straight to the memory him straight away.
Yeah.
One thing I do like about the episode is when the Doctor lies, because he's given Amy his watch thing for the Dalek watch thing, because he doesn't get affected by it.
Yeah.
But so she's had his the entire time. That's something that I quite liked because the Doctor always lies, basically.
The Clara twist was good as well, I guess. That's about it, really. Everything else was rubbish for me.
Clara twist was good. I did like seeing. I did like seeing. Yeah, I did like seeing the Dalek Parliament though.
But it doesn't make sense because they're a bunch of dictators.
No, I know it doesn't make. I know it doesn't make sense, but just seeing the massive building full of them. Yeah, and then you got the Dalek president, which I still want a model of him because I know there is one. But then like the Paradigm Daleks are back, but they're basically used as like guards, aren't they, or like security kind of things like in the background. And I don't know if you noticed with them Paradigm Daleks in that episode compared to when they were in Victory, because they were all like a matte colour in Victory, weren't they?
Yeah.
But in this one, well, I've got one right here. So all this colour. But when it comes to Asylum, they were basically a darker red, but glossy, kind of like what normal Daleks would look like. So more of a like shiny, like metal kind of colour, and didn't look plastic. Which I'm glad they did that because they looked a lot better.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Doctor Who sets like them, there's always a set that I regret missing out on, and that's the Asylum set.
Oh, was it a big?
I don't know if you can look it up, but if you put in Doctor Who figures Asylum set,
and it
should have 3. Yeah, well, that's fine. I'll just put it on the screen or something like that.
All right then. So, is it just a group of Daleks?
Is it a 3 Dalek pack?
Yeah, I think I've got it then. Here we go.
Yeah.
What do you think, George?
Yeah, that's the one. And that's the set that I always regret missing out on because I love like the damaged, like battered old look of them, and having the Asylum like logo put on them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money to try and get nowadays. I wish they'd re-release the set of them because it's quite a good set. And as you can see, that red Dalek has like the shiny deep red on it compared to the one that I just showed you here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one I missed out on and I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, I'd give the episode probably a 4 out of 10, and that Christmas special probably like a 6.
Christmas special would be a 5. Asylum 6.5.
I thought it was like your number 1 episode. I thought you said it was amazing.
But I'll have to give it some criticism to it. I might really like the episode, but I have to give it some criticism when it comes to it. Because I know it's not perfect. Like, I know an episode which will be top tier when we get to it.
Then we move on to Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. I wish, in general, like Doctor Who, it feels like the thing is, like, why do you have to straight up say the title and leave no mystery for anyone? Like, literally, like Asylum of the Daleks is an example. That you know they're going to a Dalek.
That is Chris Chibnall for you.
Obviously, that Doctor and the Witch in the Wardrobe. You know they're going to go for a wardrobe into a snowy place. And Dinosaurs on a Spaceship is literally Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Like, why can't you have a bit of mystery to it anymore? Why can't you just... I know there's always next time on Doctor Who, but I always skip that. I like to be surprised and shocked whenever I watch a Doctor Who episode at what the monster will be. So... But yeah,
but
I mean...
What could it be in the title then?
Of Dinosaurs on a Spaceship? Spotnik... prehistoric Spotnik prehistoric. There we go. It's like because Spotnik means space and prehistoric means like old time dinosaurs. So there you go, perfect title.
It could have been. It could have been quite a different title. Yeah, that I actually thinking about it.
Or it could have just been called Old Man on a Spaceship. Then you see dinosaurs, and then it's obviously the old guy at the end. That would have been quite.
It could have been like got curse of the Shakri or something like that. The Shakri is what it is what that guy is or something like that. We don't know.
So,
but what did you think of it?
Overall, I like the inclusion of who was it? The Queen and that adventurer bloke. Yeah. Cleopatra.
Yeah,
and
I think they were good.
I liked how Amy took charge in situations.
Yeah, that was good. How she basically become the doctor for them two.
Yeah.
So she was the doctor, and them two were the companions. But their relationship kind of came out of nowhere, I thought. Like, there wasn't really a point for their relationship kind of thing.
I get it. What else? I mean, Rory's dad was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the issue I had with it, I feel like the reason I can't remember, but the reason why this made me stop watching Doctor Who for so long was because I found Series 6 overall to be average. Christmas special was like Asylum of the Daleks rubbish, and then Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. I thought, why am I even watching this show anymore? But obviously, looking back on it, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
It's a Chris Chibnall episode. It makes you feel that kind of way.
Yeah. You just sort of think like the plot doesn't really go anywhere until you see the old bloke, and then the doctor says, "Well, you can die on the ship then," which is a bit out of character, but like you can sort of understand why because the old bloke was really nasty. So,
yeah. Well, he did kill a load of Silurians just to take their dinosaurs.
Yeah. The robots, I didn't find them that funny. I know you found the robots funny though.
I find them stupidly funny, if you know what I mean. Like,
like a bit like
dumb funny.
A bit like Jar Jar Binks funny.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Like, you've been very naughty.
Yeah.
But Like, really, they could have just been kicked out of the episode with no change.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So quite a few of the things in this episode.
Mm-hmm. I'd give this episode a 5.5 probably. Before I would have given it a 4.5, but now 5.5. It ain't as bad as I remember, but it's
4.5 for me then.
That's fair enough. Now we're on to a town called Mercy. Quite a breath of fresh air, really, in my opinion, considering the first 2 episodes I didn't really like that much. It feels like a very adult episode. It doesn't feel like you'd be that interested in this when you're a kid, because there's obviously things like war in it. There's an alien who's going to go around and kill people. The gunslinger looks very like, he looks like something out of a horror film, really. His voice is quite intimidating.
Basically, kind of looks a bit like a Terminator type of vibe to me. What did you think of the characters?
Yeah, that dude was quite angry that he'd been used for war and that he'd lost loads of people. And then I know I said on the review we did recently on the podcast that I just can't take Pete from
Lincoln. Oh yeah. And if you want to watch that, there's a link in the description to watch that.
Yeah, I just can't take. I'm gonna look up Adrian Scarborough. That's his name.
Yeah.
So I just can't.
Adrian Lester then.
No, I just can't take him seriously in it at all. I just feel like I'm just used to seeing him in comedy. I know I said it before in the podcast, but it's like when he was in 1917, when he showed up at the end, I thought, what is he doing here? This is just silly. Like he is not. He's not meant for a serious role, and he tries his best, but he's just typecast as that, that guy who's just very daft, a bit drunk sometimes, and I just can't take him seriously.
Imagine if he acted like he did in Gavin Stacey in 1917.
That would have been absolutely hilarious. That would have been so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's quite interested in it, really. He seems to keep being good and bad in it. Sometimes do you think, oh, this is a good guy, and sometimes you think, oh, he's a bad guy, and then in the end he tries to. I like how everyone's gets the doctor thrown out and they're about to kill him, and then he's like, no, I don't want the doctor, I want this guy, you idiots. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Pretty.
I like how the sheriff basically sacrificed himself. And then the doctors made the sheriff. And then at the end, it's been you told that it's been that the story's been told by the little girl that lived in the town. And then the gunslinger basically became the sheriff and looked after the town like that, which I think that's a lovely ending to that, because you don't normally have something like that, do you? Somebody the doctor defeats the alien and he goes, but the alien stays and protects everyone there, basically.
I like how Adrian Scarborough blows himself up at the end, though. He realises he did some bad stuff. Bit sad, but it is what it is.
It's a bit. I think that ship design was very boring, though. Just a big white orb.
Quite lackluster, isn't it? The escape pod.
Yeah.
Overall,
score
7.5.
I'm gonna have to go. Agree with you that one. I don't want to give it a low score. I can't give it a massive high score. So 7.5.
Yeah. Next, we move on to Power of 3. Personally, I found Power of 3 really forgettable. To be honest, the stuff with the cube was okay at first, but then once the cube is on people's faces, it's a bit like, well, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Can I just say
outcome of the episode? What happened?
Can I just say another Christian on episode for you there?
Yeah.
But basically, the cubes counted down during the episode, and then gave people heart attacks.
Okay. How did the Doctor beat the cubes?
I don't know.
You can't even remember.
I can't remember. I can't. You know, I can remember really small things about Doctor episodes.
But obviously today you sadly, well, it just
But
shows.
but when it comes to episodes like this, like perfectly, I can't remember what even happened at the end. I just know the Doctor's heart stopped in one, and he had to basically get electrocuted. But somehow he defeated them. Somehow.
Yeah.
I do know that this was meant to be the start of a massive story arc of a big invasion. And people thought when Cristiano took over as showrunner that invasion would be a part of one of his 3 series.
Why do you think they'd the invasion?
I don't know. They just decided to have a blue guy with teeth in his face.
Okay.
Instead.
And
then that stupid timeless child thing, which is never to be mentioned on this channel again.
Okay.
But yeah. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
That's hilarious.
2 out of 10. Yeah.
I'll probably give it a 5.
One thing I did find funny in the episode though is when they're in the Black Archive and they've got the different cubes in like different rooms, and then the one's just playing like a song. I can't even think what song it was. It's just playing a song. That's the only funny bit in it. But next one.
Angels take Manhattan. We get the Angels come back again. And it's quite interesting. I really like the book stuff, how the Doctor's reading the book and Amy's like, oh, I've got to check the rest of it. And he's like, no, you can't see the end. You cannot see the end of this book. It hasn't happened yet. And it's going through everything they're doing when they're walking around. And obviously Rory gets taken to the past. And we get River Song come back. And you've got this guy who collects angels as an artifact.
I do like that scene where the guy who collects the angels has basically with a hostage.
Yeah.
With the angel heart. Yeah. And then you see the Tardis trying to get through.
Yeah.
And it's basically ripping a hole in time. That's a great effect, I think. I love that blue effect when it's trying to land. And then when it lands, it basically forces everyone back. I think that's a very cool scene. What do you think of it for Amy and Rory's last episode?
Yeah, it was a good way to send them off. They'd really matured as a couple. Obviously, the way when they chucked themselves off the building at the end, they're like, if we die, this can be all undone and the angels won't have come and blah, 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 blah. And that's how they defeat the angels. But obviously, it was sadly a fixed point in time. Rory still died. He's like, oh, damn, my grave's there. And then, obviously...
for the 500th time.
Yeah. And then he gets touched by an angel, and Amy's like, well, I can go back in time then. And the Doctor's like, no. And then River's like, yes, go for it. And then Doctor's quite upset. The first time we've seen him cry at a companion going.
So I think it's the first. Yeah. No. In New Who, yeah. Cry? Rose.
He didn't cry, did he? Did he?
On the beach, when he fades away, because it's just a projection. He cries there.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go back and watch that again. Whoops! Nearly hit the mic with my elbow. Yeah. Okay. First time Matt Smythe cried.
Yes. First time Smith cried.
So anyway, I like the new power with the angels as well. How they, they take your energy, and we see Rory. As I said before in the podcast, he's there for 1,000 years. No, sorry, not 1,000 years. He has to wait in a bedroom for 100 years for Amy. Amy does not appreciate any of the stuff he does. 2,000 years, 100 years. He dies 50 times, but no, doesn't appreciate it. Disgrace.
Yeah. What did you think of the cherubs?
Who were they?
They were basically like the baby angels.
Oh, they were quite scary. Yeah, they were quite intimidating.
Yeah, I thought they were a creepy little thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get like the Statue of Liberty with an angel.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not the biggest fan because it contradicts a couple of things, but it's Doctor Who. It contradicts itself every episode basically.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it as a threat. How it's this big, massive thing.
Yeah, it's quite intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, but overall, I think it was a good episode and a very emotional one.
Yeah, definitely.
I do want to mention as well. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say I didn't know that this would be their last episode because I didn't watch any trailers and I wasn't watching it at the time when it came out. So it was quite a shocker, really, out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I'll try and keep that kind of thing away from you so you don't find out. So you have those moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a massive shock at the time.
With their departure, in a sense, the way I like things out of nowhere, so I suppose in a way it should be my favourite, but the problem is that isn't how they do things in Doctor Who. There has to be a lot of build-up before someone goes, you know what I'm saying? So it's still good,
yeah, cool.
But I like, as I say, my objectively best and favourite departure is Donna by far.
Yeah.
It's so depressing, and you still think that is the one that had the biggest impact on me, and it stayed in my mind. Like the other, I really love Martha's as well. It doesn't have an impact or stay in my mind, but it's just nice how she didn't get killed or a memory wiped or sent to another dimension. What happened was she was
she just left.
Yeah, I've got to look after my family. See ya. You know, so I do that. That's definitely the second best in my opinion. But Donna's the fact that she saved the day by knowing everything, and then she has to get her mind wiped. All she cared about was having adventure, having fun, and then actually doing stuff with her life instead of just working in an office forever. But instead, she has to go back to where she was at the beginning, and she doesn't even remember any of those amazing times. So it's very bittersweet and amazing. One of the probably one of the best departures ever of a character from a show, in my opinion. It had such an impact on me. And how gutted Tennant was as well, and like when he had to go at Donna's mom as well, that was really good. Really loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
Enough about my favourite series in Doctor Who. The best, in my opinion. Back to this one.
So,
it was a good departure. It was a good departure. 8.
8.5.
Fair enough. Next, we go to. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh no, Snowman, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh, that's Snowman.
Oh no. I mean, as I say, Clara was really good in this episode. But bloody hell, the snowman, I found it really odd. As I say, it just made me think of those snowmen toys that I was saying about on the podcast. All that nonsense. So the snowmen just look like daft jokes to me. You don't see them do. I know they kill one bloke, but you don't really see them do a lot of evil stuff as well. Probably the scariest thing is the undead babysitter, whatever her name is, who got froze.
The ice. Hang on, give me a second. I can think of it. Governess. That's it.
Yeah, the
ice governess
fell into the pond and it froze over, and she was coming after him all. That was quite scary for a Doctor episode. But yeah, Jenny, Vastra, and Strax, they were quite funny in it.
Yeah. I was fine. The Paternoster. I can never say it. I always find them quite a good.
Oh, Paternoster. Paternoster, sorry. I thought you were making a reference to the
Paternoster
thing.
No, their name, their group name is the Paternoster gang. But I always find them quite good in it. and they were very prominent for Series 7B
Yeah.
when it comes to it. But they were
Mhm.
quite good in it. I like the snowmen. I think they're quite a creepy looking thing.
Mhm.
And looking at them compared to the Yeti. Now, I mentioned a Yeti because it's the Great Intelligence in this episode,
Mhm.
and the Great Intelligence were first seen in the Second Doctor era, basically using these big robot Yetis.
Mhm.
So it's kind of in the same kind of range as how that works out.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're good. I do wish that they would have had this version of Clara in this
Yeah,
episode
she seemed a lot
rather than
more.
the Bowser Saints job. Yeah, can't
Yeah,
say.
she seemed a lot more savvy and interested and banterous in this, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. And when we got onto Bowser St. John's, like when they go to it, they have this nice big introduction in the Snowman, and then it's just rushed in Bowser St. John.
Mhm. Yeah.
I do like in this episode though, when the Doctor's living on the cloud
Mhm.
in the TARDIS, you go up and the TARDIS is all battered and worn, and then when you go in, all the lights are off and it starts. Lights all start turning on, and it's this brand new big metallic TARDIS, and it
Yeah.
just looks absolutely beautiful.
And the new opening screen as well. That was quite interesting. Instead of just going through a time
Yeah,
warp, we just sort of go through space and we get to see the Doctor's face like that. So
yeah. Well, that kind of reminds me of more classic era because they always used to have the face in the title sequences in the classic
yeah.
era. Look, we've got it on right now, and that red, which you can see behind us. I always
Mhm.
thought that kind of like red vortex was a nice contrast.
Yeah.
Overall, the story was okay. I liked it when the Doctor dressed up as Sherlock.
Mhm.
I thought it was quite funny. But overall, it's a quite good, decent episode.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, same. It was cool how Clara died at the end as well. And then he realised, oh crap, there's a million Claras. That was quite a fun
Yeah.
moment for the Doctor.
Which then more linked to
What
the
was the
end of the series.
stuff with
What's
the
that?
great? I was going to say, what's the stuff with the great intelligence when he takes over the Doctor and the Doctor turns blue? That was quite a cool scene, but I just can't remember much about it.
Well, if I'm right, I forget. Is it Hugh Grant? Is it in the episode?
Hugh Grant.
I think it's
George,
Hugh
he's
Grant.
never been in Doctor Who. Have you gone mad?
Well, what's his name then?
I've got no
It's
idea, but it's
something Hugh
definitely
or something Grant.
it's not
Type in
Hugh Grant.
Great Intelligence.
You've gone
Type in. Look up Great
mad. No,
Intelligence actor then.
the guy who are you on about the person who's physically the great intelligence or the guy who voices him? Because the
Yes.
guy who voices him is okay. It's Ian
Is
McKellen who voices him, who's the voice.
yeah, well, it's not him. It's the guy with the hat.
Okay. It is who is it? It says Richard E. Grant. There we go.
Richard E. Grant.
Hugh Grant. I thought, bloody hell, I would have noticed him if he was in Doctor Who. Bloody hell. Yeah.
So basically, the big glass ball. That's a Great
Oh shit.
Intelligence.
He was in Loki and
What?
The Rise of Skywalker. That is legendary. And he was in
Yeah, he
Game of
was, wasn't
Thrones.
he?
Who the bloody hell did he
Yeah.
play in Game of Thrones? I've got to look this up. Richard E. Grant, Game of Thrones.
Going off a bit off topic,
I
mate.
don't care. You keep talking about whatever you want to talk about.
So basically, the way the Doctor turns blue, like the Great Intelligence is a big ball, and it goes into Richard E. Grant to basically takes him over. That's why he starts becoming all frosty and cold. And so when he's touching the Doctor, he's basically freezing the Doctor's face off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's turning blue.
That was quite a cool scene.
Yeah. Who did he play then? Did you figure it out?
He was just someone who was acting in the show. Basically, there was a medieval performance on in the show in the street, and it was just tragic. I don't even want. I was so hyped, but then I saw, he just plays this person. It's disappointing. But okay, so
Your score?
Give it like I don't know, probably a 6.5.
Yeah, as I said, I gave it a 7. So Bells of St.
Now
John.
on to the Bells of St. John. The concept's really cool. How it's Wi-Fi taking over, but apart from that, it's just sort of like the Doctor trying to. The problem is, I get that he's trying to make Clara like find out who Clara is and all this jazz and all this bonkers stuff. But I'm just not really that bothered about it, to be honest. We should have just had the Clara from a previous era. That'd be so cool to get a companion from years ago to like come all over the universe. That'd be that's so interesting. And then
well, we've had things like that in the past, like Jamie from the Second Doctor. He was from medieval Scotland.
That's really cool. I should have done something like that.
And the Doctor picked him up in the middle of a battle, and at the end of his run with the Doctor, he went back to that medieval battle.
That would have been majorly cool, man. That would have been class.
Yeah, it's just like that. Like, I don't know if you see my one of my latest videos, and check it out if you haven't. But I did a new series called The Lost Companions, and this one was about a companion that is from the eighth Doctor era, but was basically a painting come to life.
Yeah.
So like even something like that, something different than just a modern day person. Now that's really all that we've had is a modern day companion. So I'd like to have like at least an alien companion, even if they look like a normal person. Just give me an alien companion or a robot companion or something like that. But Bells of St. John, Spoonheads were okay. Story was okay. The woman who was basically in charge, she was quite good.
Yeah, and it was quite deep how she was taken over by the Great Intelligence when she was a kid. That was quite a shocker.
Yeah. And then when she couldn't go back to normal, she's still talking like a little kid.
Yeah, and the Doctor riding the motorbike was really cool as well. And she's like, "Let me out!" And then they have to bloody very smart by the Doctor. Basically, how he was one of the Spoonheads, very genius, Mr. Matt Smith.
Yeah, that was good, and so to get her out, they had to basically get everyone out.
Yeah. So yeah, in the great words of Eccleston, everybody lives. So that's really good.
Basically, yeah.
Overall, I give it a 6.5. Though, as you said, it was a little bit forgettable. The concept was good, though. And there were some bits in there. And
we did get to see Unit right at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
which was nice. But overall, what is your score?
6.5, as I said. So,
you said it. All right.
Now we come on to one which I am not a fan of. I am not a fan of this one at all. Rings of Akkerton. I just found it very, very weird, very bizarre. I thought the singing was daft. The song was a bit annoying. The sun being the villain.
I like that singing and that song.
The twist villain of the sun being the villain. It just didn't do much for me. And then the sun goes inside the Doctor's head, and then that's how the Doctor beats it with his crazy thoughts. I suppose that's the only way he's going to beat a sun. I didn't really like the twist as well. The little marketplace expands the Doctor Who universe a bit, I guess, and how they're after this little girl. I guess it keeps you on the edge of your seat. But overall, I just found it very boring, very odd, very bizarre.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I like the song, and when it came to doing the Doctor lockdown stuff last year, a lot of people did do a massive sing along to that song. But I really enjoy this episode, and I love Matt's speech in it as well to the son. How he's seen everything and lost a lot of things, and he's telling it to take all, and it can't take all of the Doctor's memories, which kills it.
Yeah.
And I think the girl's quite good. I love those side villains though. The other ones like the gay, the great face.
I think so. Oh, I just can't remember him.
Just look them up. I know what I mean. Just so I can rings of Akkerton villains.
Yeah, they look really bad.
Things like it. Yeah, the veil, is it?
Very intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're good. They could have been good by themselves, really.
Definitely.
But
there ain't really much
overall, no.
Oh, like 4.
So you're going for 4. I'm going for 7.5. That's our first massively drastic one, I think.
Yeah.
In ages.
The next one is Cold War. Amazing. Very, very, very good.
I love this.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat for the whole time. Yeah. What are they called? Those soldiers? The
Ice Warriors.
The Ice Warriors are absolutely legendary. I found it a bit weird when he was out of his shell. I found it a lot more intimidating when he was in his shell. It made him seem a lot more indestructible.
Yeah, I like him when they're in the shell more. And it was and they're a classic villain returning for the first time in New Who at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the submarine story was quite good. I loved how strong they made the
really low under the sea. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. I loved how strong they made General Skaldak be.
Yeah, they're hyping it up. They're hyping up loads, don't they? Because they're like, normal soldier's dangerous, but he's the general. Blah blah. You think bloody hell.
Yeah, General Skaldak.
Yeah.
And we never got a figure of one of those new Ice Warriors. We're a 3.75 version, and I've always wanted one because they're such a cool looking, like a monster of a villain, basically.
Yeah, you think they'd suit the action figure look very well? You think they'd be easy to
sell? Yeah, like they've done classic versions, I think, but they must have the old 3.75 mold, which I can just enlarge. Hopefully, we get one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know we've just had 4 sets come out as well, but
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of these people as well in the submarine are put in the position the Doctor's put in a shit ton, because they all basically save the world and no one's ever going to know and they're never going to get any credit. All that's going to be, obviously we, the audience, know that they saved the world, but the rest of the world has no idea who they are when their deaths are reported. First off, no one would believe that some massive aliens on there. With the 2 people that survived, no one's going to believe them. And they're probably not going to try and tell people. And also, like, they'd just be like, well, no one's there. Like, they're just going to have to say, oh, they just died at sea. Very sad. And not tell them the families and their loved ones the truth that they saved the world, pretty much. Otherwise, that thing would have nuked everything. Mind you, though, it depends where they'd launched the nuke. If they just, because they were stuck at the bottom of the ocean. So if the nuke had been launched to the bottom of the ocean, it wouldn't have done that much damage. It would have just sort of killed a lot of fish, and that was it. Which is a shame. But yeah,
it's fine.
Score. So, 8.5.
So did you want to go? Did you want to say something else about it?
No, 8.5 out of 10. I give it
8.5. I am going to agree with you and stick with an 8.5 as well.
Fair dues. I like how it turns around as well. It sees that there's still a few of his ice warriors left who come and pick him up. And he's like, oh, I might as well not leave this world. You know, I've got people now. It's all right. So that's cool.
Yeah. I do like they're all from Mars as well.
Yeah. Then we are on to Hyde. You know, when Doctor Who has supernatural type stuff, there's always a scientific explanation. But then for the whole episode, you're thinking, what the hell are these ghost noises? What the hell's going on? It's very interesting. The two characters, that bloke and that woman who are secretly in love, that's quite a cool story in there. And the two monsters are in love, which is decent like contrast to them. But, personally, you know my opinion on it. I just thought it was bizarre.
I do know your opinion.
The monster's meant to be evil, and all it does is go. It doesn't actually kill anyone.
No, it's not meant to be evil. It just looks ugly and can't speak.
But then that's boring.
No, it's a nice change. It might be all ugly and terrifying to us, but all it wants is to find its mate.
Well, then why is it going over, attacking the Doctor and trying to take him down? That's harassment. That's
because maybe he's threatened by him. Maybe he's scared as well.
Well, you'd run away if you were scared. You wouldn't. That's ridiculous.
I don't know. I like it either way.
Okay.
But there isn't a lot to say about this episode, though.
Yeah, it's just pretty much like you're thinking, what's going on? And then you find out what's going on. It's someone from the past. And then you're like, whoa, no, they're like a time traveler. And then they get sent. And you think the Doctor's going to be left behind. No, but the Tardis goes and saves him. And then all's well that ends well. I guess there's a bit of decent backstory with that bloke with the glasses, how he was in World War II. And he feels so. Not really much else to say.
I need to go back a couple of episodes to just remember this. In the Doctor and the Widow and the Wardrobe, doesn't Spitfire land on the beach or something like that with the father in it?
The Spitfire comes at the end. Yeah, the Spitfire comes at the end.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was quite an emotional ending, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but back to Hyde. I think it's a good episode, and it's a nice, different episode to Doctor Who. But overall, it's just one of those nice stories you can watch, and it is a bit of a horror kind of story, which is nice.
Yeah.
Score?
7 out of 10 from me.
7 out of 10. I'm gonna have to go with an 8.
Fair enough. Now,
I thought you were gonna go a bit lower.
No, because it was good overall. It was just like I found the monster stuff a bit, dragged it down a bit.
Yeah,
but not that much. You know, I still gave it.
I have to give that one of the watch. Chris, been a bit of time since I have watched it.
Yeah. So, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, very interesting, brilliant episode. Sort of fan service that I absolutely love. We see how massive the TARDIS really is. I know we see that a little bit in a series 6 episode, the Doctor's wife, but it seems absolutely next level massive in this one. But what happens is a ship uses a tractor beam, brings the TARDIS in, it crashes. They think everyone's dead in there. But obviously, Clara gets lost.
Well, it's a scrap ship, isn't it?
Yeah. Clara gets lost because of the crash, and you're on the edge of your seat. You're like, the Doctor's got to find Clara quick as, because doesn't the TARDIS go into self-destruct mode?
Well, the Doctor puts it in self-destruct mode.
Oh, he says, we have 30 minutes to find her, but then obviously afterwards he's joking. So that was quite cool.
Yeah, well, he's trying to make him desperate to find her, just so he can basically get them to do his plan.
Yeah, there was one. As much as I love the episode, I really do like it. There was one really bizarre bit where he's just saying, "Oh yeah, you're actually a robot. We were just pranking you all this time." What?
Yeah,
that was really odd. I found that really weird. I didn't get that.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It just seemed a bit like they could have said, "Look, we didn't want you to know you were a robot because, like, you know, it could make you feel really shocked and scared." But instead, he just, no, it was just a joke. You know, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? You lied to him all the years, and you now you're in a near-death situation. You're telling him now. It's just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. I quite what I quite like about the episode as well is all the rooms. Like we get to see the pool and the library, like with the book of the Time War there as well.
Yeah.
And we get to see all these big massive rooms, like the one with like the telescoping as well. Even you can see they're massively CGI'd in. Still great looking at them, basically. But overall, it did get sold quite quickly and easily, didn't it? With a big red button.
Yeah.
But overall, I quite enjoyed it. The cast was quite good. That seeing all the Tardis was quite nice to see. I enjoyed that. A lot of people don't like the episode, do they? As I've told you before.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I think it's absolutely class.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it.
I was going to say those creatures were a bit odd though, but they were and like
yeah.
the twist
Well, the zombies being put in there were basically just to get a villain in the story, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But a lot of people don't like this episode, but I don't really get why.
Each
So yeah, it's just what they like. Just like people might like the Time Shard. I hate it with a burning passion in my soul. But score 7 out of 5. 7 out of 5. 7 out of 10.
8 out of 10 for me.
Oh. I can't think of what is next.
It is. Oh, for goodness sake, the Crimson Horror. I did not enjoy talking about this when we just talked about it on the podcast. I'm not going to enjoy doing that again. It was an absolute utter bag of arse. I just found it so weird, so odd. Mr. Sweet was bizarre. Matt Smith being a red monster was an okay twist, but I just found it weird. Him being like, I know why he was like this because he was dumped in that red stuff. Him being like, it was like, what is going on? What am I watching? I know the thing is right with
and him being kept as Ada's pet as well.
Yeah, it was really weird. The thing is with My Human Doctor Who, I found John Sim going and then seeing him in a dress going yippee yippee. That made me laugh my ass off because it's so bad.
that is funny. That is
the master being.
I wish there was a behind the scene. Yeah. I wish there was a behind the scenes of him doing each one of those takes as just clapping while jumping up and down.
But the thing is, it's because it was so unexpected, and it actually just made me laugh. While this Matt Smith going didn't make me laugh. Also, all the Yorkshire stuff, it was just a bit like. Obviously, it's fine. It just felt a bit like, oh, you know, what's going on? Hey, and the doctor being like, oh, from Yorkshire, you know. I don't mind, like, I'm sure Yorkshire's an awesome place with awesome people. I'm just saying, like, you know, it just seemed a bit, they seemed to, like, just be a bit odd about it. Yeah. And, like...
And Sweet was a rubbish villain, wasn't he?
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. If you want to just skip past the rest of this episode and move on.
Yeah, the end. No, let's talk about it a bit more. The end of the episode was very, very weird with her getting shot, and then that's the end. I think the blind lady, doesn't she move in with Strax and all them, become a part of their gang, or does she go off?
I don't think. I think she just goes up and does her own thing because she kills Mr. Sweet.
And the end goal of the old lady was really bizarre. The shoot off.
I don't even remember it.
She was going to shoot Mr. Sweet off in the air, and I think he'd explode and make everyone into Mr. Sweet. Something really odd.
Weird. 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of maybe even a 3. I don't know. Like, it was honestly really bad. It was really bad.
I couldn't blame you if you did.
It was honestly the worst episode of the season because there was nothing good about it. That was the issue.
Yeah.
The Doctor takes. Oh, here we go. Nightmare in Silver. I like the Sideman having new abilities. That was quite cool. Warwick Davis was okay. I know you said they're very overpowered, which you don't find good.
Yeah. Well, comparing to the Cyberman, which we've seen since 2005 up to then, and they were slow, stompy, and they felt like humans being put into these big metal suits. These guys just felt like robots because they could just put the head on one place and attack with no head. And really, they just look like Cyberman versions of Iron Man.
True. It was a bit bollocks. As much as I like them being able to move fast and all that jazz, it was bollocks how they adapted to absolutely everything. It just seemed like, well, what the hell?
Yeah, like when they went in the water.
Yeah.
And then could speed up like really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then that big red gun could shoot the one, but then the next one, yeah.
But I'll tell you some stuff I like though. I love the Doctor having the Sideman in his head and being against himself. That was awesome acting from Matt Smith. Very interesting stuff as well with the chess game, and very nice. The thing is as well, the going around the abandoned amusement park, that was really cool. Like the plot and upgraded Sidemen. Initially that was cool, as I say, but then they just got too OP. Yeah. And Clara was really good. You know, she took over. She was good leader, which was really good. She was really good in this episode.
One thing that I didn't like because Warwick Davis is a king, and they're all on his ship. The only way to destroy all these Cybermen is to blow up the planet. Yeah. And then one little Cyber might survive just floating in space. Like, come on. Can you get more cliche than that?
I know, yeah. And also at the end, it was really weird how he gives this massive speech about the bomb, then he just beams them up. But why didn't he do that ages ago? Why didn't he beam them up straight away? It just seems a bit odd. It just seems a bit like, what the hell was he playing at? I guess it was just to keep tension. But yeah, all he did was say some words, and the bomb would be activated, and then they get beamed up to the ship. So like they could have just done that straight away. But like loads of people died in the process. So like, why didn't the Emperor do that straight away if he really wanted to save people? I like the twist how he was the Emperor, but it just seemed a bit incompetent the way they did it.
Yeah, the way it definitely was.
Why, when he got loads of people killed and he pressed the button, why didn't he just try and beam them up straight away if that's what you're going to go with, him being able to beam people up? It just seemed daft. A lot of people weren't fans of the kids. I didn't mind them. They were a little bit annoying in some scenes. I found
and Ginarty, I wish they would have been killed off. As I said before, and I was saying, I wish the Cyberman would have gone bang, bang, dead. We can move on now.
They didn't bother me too much. I found them like, they're young actors. They were doing their best. I feel they weren't really that good, but they weren't like awful. But yeah,
well, they're better than one actor in it. I don't.
Which actor? Which actor?
I can't. What's his name now? Hang on. You said that I can't even think of his name.
Was he the one in the Sontaran two-parter and he gets shot at the end?
Yes, him.
He was older. He was like 20, wasn't he? He was far older.
He was about 20, but he was annoying as anything.
Yeah, he was very daft. He just seemed to want to, and the fact that he's meant to be the smartest guy on Earth, but then he trusted the Sontarans with this weird thing that he didn't even know about. That was one of the weirdest things ever. But apart from that, I love that Sontaran two-parter.
Yeah, sometimes two-parters are good. I just wish he would have been bang, just like Anginarty.
But anyway, so yeah, as I say, Sideman being OP was Once they adapted to everything, that was the annoying thing. I didn't mind them being able to move fast, but
Yeah.
Overall, I give this probably a 6. I think it deserves a 6.
5.
Fair enough. Now we move on to the
With the
name of the
Iron Man
Doctor.
Cybermen.
The name of the
Oh no,
Doctor
this
now.
is good. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, overall, it was good, and there's a lot of mystery for everything. Like, oh, how does the Doctor actually die? But personally, the Great Intelligence showing up, I was a bit like, and then everyone running into the Doctor not saying his name, that was a bit stupid, clickbaity title, but then he doesn't say his name. I know it's meant to be a mystery, but I don't care.
He's not going to say his name.
Don't have it in the
Why
title.
would they reveal?
Don't have it in the title if he's not going to say his name. That's my opinion. Don't bother having it in the title if he's not going to say his name. It just seems like silliness to me. But there you go.
Okay then. Okay, let's say this. Stop it.
All right, go on.
Oh, I would do something better, and you know I will.
Well, it's your video. It's your video.
I know it's fine for you. I know it's fine for you. So I can do what I want. I want with my channel.
Go on then, George.
Well, let's just say. Okay then. Time out. I've got.
Right,
okay then. Time out of the Doctor, and then the Beast Below. Beast Below is the first episode of Capaldi that run. And it's not. And there's not a beast underneath ground in that.
What are you on about? There was a beast below. There was a big whale underneath the city.
No, in Capaldi's first episode,
I've got
there's
2 episodes
a
the
dinosaur.
Beast from
The Beast Below, that is Capaldi's first episode. Your next episode.
No, but all I'll say is that it has nothing to do with fan service. When you're hyping up something like the name of the Doctor and then he doesn't say his name apart. Well, it's cool how you see how River Song knows his name, but I feel like River Song just shows up every 2 seconds now.
Well, technically, his name is said because River says it then.
What's his name?
River says his name, we just Bob Jenkins.
Oh yeah, good then. That's awesome.
Well, what his name is basically John Smith. Because that's what he uses since the third Doctor's era.
You reckon?
Yeah, but John Smith, he's used it for God knows how long. So,
well, it says it says on Google the Doctor's name is John Smith. So there you go.
There you go.
Confirmed. All right then.
So, what did you think of the Whisper Men?
They look quite scary, but didn't really do that much. That's all.
No, they didn't do much. I love the design of them, and I wish they would have done a figure because it wouldn't have been that hard, really. Because you've already got a suit figure. I like the Johnston one. I don't think I've got it near me. And then we've got an 11th Doctor with his big hat on, so they could have just repainted it like that. But overall, I think it was quite good how the Tardis wouldn't let the Doctor land on Trenzalore, so you have to basically turn off the anti-gravity, and it falls to the ground, and you see like the red scorch marks all across the TARDIS.
That was quite an interesting aspect.
Yeah, I love that bit. But then then you see that the TARDIS is basically dead, and the big on the inside stuff is basically leaking out on the outside, making the police box itself massive. I think that's a very cool concept. And then the whole of the console is basically missing, so it's just the Doctor's time stream going through the middle, and that's where we get the revolution because the Great Intelligence goes into the timeline, that's when Clara goes in, basically defeats him, and that's why, and that's how we get Clara all through these different time periods, like with Asylum and the Sermon. So I like that as a revelation. I think that her basically being the one who saves, he saves the Doctor in every single episode since the beginning. I think that's a bit rubbish, but overall, I quite like it, and I like how the Doctor goes in his own time stream in the end.
Yeah, Clara saving everything.
Yeah, and that's when we see John Hurt as the new War Doctor.
Yeah, because Matt Smith comes in and saves her, doesn't he? So that's cool.
Yeah, because he's Doctor on the day that the Doctor wasn't the Doctor, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He broke the promise, basically, so he wasn't the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think John Hurt played an absolutely fantastic job as a Doctor. I wish we would have seen more of him. I know we got quite a few Big Finish series with him, but I think seeing him on screen a lot more could have been fantastic. And it is a shame that he passed away.
Yeah.
Do you want to give your opinion to it or not?
I haven't got anything else to say. It was quite deep how River Song was there, and the Doctor knew the whole time, but didn't bother saying anything because it hurt him. And then he just looked like a madman to Strax and everyone. The Doctor not existing and all that jazz, and the great intelligence and going and messing with everything. I'm kind of 50-50 on, because they already did a world without the Doctor, and that was Turn Left is one of my all-time favorite episodes. I absolutely love it. But this, it's like
well, it wasn't really a world without the Doctor. It was just him losing
right at the end
every single battle.
Yeah. And the stars go out, and then Strax is like, but then he gets killed.
Yeah. And then brought back to life.
Yeah, very conveniently and quickly. But there you go.
Anything else to say?
No, I've got nothing else to say. Just a 7 out of 10. Or probably 7.5. Yeah, 7.5.
I'm going to go with 8.5. Because I quite enjoy this episode because it's very lore-driven.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to the best and most fantastic episode of all time, Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. It is absolutely utterly amazing. It's the first episode since the first 2-part of Series 6. Since I've actually really been intrigued in what's going to happen in Doctor Who. I was so interested. I wanted to watch the whole thing. Fan service was legendary. John Hurt was great. Having Tennant back, great. Joanna Page was awesome in it too. The villain.
Now, I'm going a second. I was going to say to everyone, James normally watches like half an episode when he wants to. So
No. Right, before I let George explain, the reason why I only watch half an episode is because I haven't been interested in the show for ages. It hasn't really caught my interest that much. That's why I only watch half an episode. Because before Series 5, no, sorry, ever since the 2-parter, I've struggled to watch. Ever since Impossible Astronaut and that 2-parter, I've always struggled to watch the rest. So yeah, but George, go on. You make your point. Sorry, go on. The floor is yours, mate.
So I told you to watch it in full, and you've told me already that I was right. That you are glad you watched it in full.
Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't have understood what was going on. It still would have been good, but not as good as it could have been.
Yeah. Did you know that David was going to be in the episode with Matt Smith and Pickford, and John Hurt?
Fairly sure I mentioned it on the podcast, but I'll mention it here too for the sake of the DW Boy 14 viewers. I knew because I remember it being advertised on the telly loads, and also he's on the front cover of it as well. I had no idea John Hurt would be in it though, because you can't really see him that well on the front cover. And I thought to myself that the day of the Doctor, the point of the 50th anniversary, is that they get loads of Doctors back. But obviously, it was mainly just 3 doing stuff there, 3 Doctors, but it was still cool. you know.
Yeah.
The Doctor's
Yeah.
back and forth
I
banter was
I
really
love
cool.
this. Yeah.
Seeing the Time War was awesome as well.
Yeah, I love seeing the Time War. I love seeing the Doctor meet, well, basically try and face his darkest day, basically.
Yeah, when he wasn't the Doctor.
Yeah,
Or when he didn't feel like the Doctor.
But I do love the bit at the end where they say, "You were the Doctor on the day where it was impossible to be the Doctor."
Mm-hmm.
But this episode is fantastic. I can speak for about another hour on it, but we can't. So we'll just go over some points. So the Zygons were great. I thought that was the first time we saw. That was the
design.
first time we saw.
I was going to say the design
Sorry.
was a bit odd, but apart from that, it was really good.
Well, the design is meant to be odd because they're a shifted alien.
Yeah.
But that was the first time we saw them since the classic era. I think the Daleks were put to good use in it. John Hurt was great. David Tennant was great. Matt Smith was great. And I can't. I've got too much to say, so I'm just going to give my score. If you want to say anything else, you can. But this is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Fair enough. It was absolutely amazing. I have to give it a 10 as well.
Great. So that's the first 10 out of 10. I'd say this is our first 10 out of 10 since Series 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last episode to talk about is Time of the Doctor.
Mm-hmm. So, honestly, I'm just gassed at this point.
Sorry. Yeah. I was going to say, we're not going to talk about the Night of the Doctor 5-minute episode because we talked about that in the podcast, and as I said before, it's in the description for when this video goes live.
Yeah.
So you're gas now. So you just want to quick talk about this one because I find this a great episode. Matt Smith is on his A game in it. I like how he gets older and older, looking at after the town called Christmas. I love his big how it basically ties quite a bit together, like how the science put these pastors all along, and the crack in the wall was always the Time was trying to get through, and the Doctor couldn't tell them his name because he knew that it would start a second Time War.
Yeah.
But then we get the actual regeneration into Peter Capaldi, which is basically a sneeze. Mm-hmm. When you watch it, it is a sneeze, like when he turns into 12. Overall, my score would be a 9 out of 10. You want to give your opinions on it and then give your score?
I'll just give a quick out. Actually, no, I really don't feel like it. When we do the Series 8 review, I'll try and say my points about why I loved those two Series 7 episodes so much. Series 7, sorry, Matt Smith specials, The Day of the Doctor and Time of the Doctor. Well, so that'll be ages away because it will probably take me forever to get through Series 8. But there you go.
You will see you next October.
2 years.
October,
2 years. 2 years.
In 2 years' time, you'll be done.
Nah, but I'll do my best to get through Series 8. I will try. Overall, I'd give this one probably a 7.5, and I'll go into my reasons another time. I've just got shit I've got to do today, so I've got to shut off. Overall, the Series 7 is probably a Oh yeah, average probably about 6 out of 10. My opinion.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. So
Each to their own.
no,
Each to their
8,
own.
8. I'm sticking out. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for joining me. Link in the description to the podcast. Check out my last 2 videos, which was the Series 6 review with James, and then the Lost Companions episode, which I hope you enjoy both those things. So thank you for James. Thanks to James for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Right, everyone. See ya.